Did you know that there was once a law in Hong Kong that legally allowed a woman to kill her cheating husband, but only under one very bizarre condition? That's right, if a wife caught her husband in the act of infidelity, she could take his life without facing murder charges, but only if she did it with her bare hands. Why on earth would such a law exist? And what does it say about Hong Kong's unique cultural and legal history? In this video, we're going to dive into one of the most jaw-dropping legal facts you've probably never heard of, but that's not all. Stick around because we're also uncovering other strange and mind-bending facts about Hong Kong that might just change the way you think about this fascinating city forever. From bizarre legal loopholes to cultural quirks, you won't believe are real. This is the Hong Kong they don't tell you about in the travel brochures. We'll explore how laws like this shape the city's social dynamics and why they even existed in the first place. And as we unravel these surprising stories, you'll gain a whole new perspective on one of the world's most intriguing cities. Now buckle up because you're about to discover the side of Hong Kong you never knew existed. Let's dive into this jaw-dropping law that once existed in Hong Kong. So here's how it worked. If a wife found her husband cheating, she was legally allowed to kill him, but only if she used her bare hands. Why such a peculiar detail? Well, it's believed that this restriction was meant to make it almost impossible for the wife to actually carry out the deed, turning what seemed like a legal loophole into more of a symbolic law. So if she used any weapon or tool, it was classified as murder. So while it sounds shocking at first, this law wasn't really granting women a free pass to unalive their husbands. It was more like a frustrating way of saying, sure, you can kill him, but good luck doing it. But where did this law come from and why was it created? To understand, we have to go back to Hong Kong's history of being a British colony with a unique blend of Eastern and Western influences. During this time, many laws were crafted to reflect both British common law and local Chinese customs. So this led to strange hybrid laws that often are conflicting values like this one, which seemed to acknowledge a wife's desire for retribution, but also sought to limit any real harm. Interestingly, this law wasn't the only one of its kind. In ancient China, there were legal codes that allowed a wife to punish a cheating husband in other creative ways, such as publicly shaming him or even suing for compensation. However, Hong Kong's colonial government adapted these laws, giving them a peculiar twist to align more with British legal standards, resulting in a mix of severe consequences and impossible conditions. So, when was this law finally repealed? The answer: in the mid-20th century, as part of Hong Kong's broader legal reforms that aimed to modernize and harmonize the legal system. By then, it had become a relic that wasn't actually practiced, but served as a curious reminder of how laws can sometimes be more symbolic than functional. But that's not all. Did you know there are still some bizarre laws on the books in Hong Kong today? In the next section, we're going to uncover some of the strangest, most head-scratching regulations that you'd never believe are real. So, what other bizarre laws have existed in Hong Kong? Believe it or not, the city still has some pretty head-scratching rules on the books. Let's start with one of the weirdest. Did you know it's illegal to impersonate someone else during a Chinese New Year celebration? Yep, that means no fake identities or pretending to be someone you're not, unless you want to risk getting fined. This law traces its roots back to old superstitions about spirits and bad luck. It was believed that if you pretended to be someone else during the New Year, you might confuse the spirits and bring misfortune not only to yourself but to the entire community. While this law isn't exactly enforced these days, it's still technically on the books. So, no masquerades at your Hong Kong New Year party. Another odd law: it's illegal to wash your neighbor's car without their permission. This might sound trivial, but the law exists to protect property rights and prevent potential disputes over cleanliness and damage claims. Imagine getting in trouble for simply being a good Samaritan. But it goes to show how seriously Hong Kong takes personal property rights, sometimes to a rather extreme degree. Next up, did you know that it's illegal to use foul language on a public bus? Swearing or using offensive language in public transportation could land you with a hefty fine or even some jail time. This law was put in place to maintain public order and respect, but many find it surprising given Hong Kong's otherwise bustling and somewhat chaotic atmosphere. Then there's the bizarre rule that a woman can't touch a man's face without his permission in public. The intent was to prevent public disturbances and improper behavior. Although this law is rarely applied today, it remains a curious reflection of Hong Kong's conservative social standards. But perhaps the strangest of all is the law prohibiting the flying of kites in public parks. Why? It's considered a form of air pollution and a potential hazard to nearby aircraft. This might sound over the top, but considering Hong Kong's tightly packed skyline and busy airspace, it kind of makes sense. Imagine the chaos if every kid with a kite interfered with air traffic. These lesser-known laws give us a glimpse into Hong Kong's unique legal landscape, where British influence, traditional Chinese values, and a touch of superstition all mixed together in unexpected ways. In the next section, we'll explore Hong Kong's cultural quirks and superstitions that make it such a fascinating place to visit and learn about. Hong Kong isn't just known for its futuristic skyline and bustling street markets. It's also home to some fascinating cultural quirks that you probably won't find anywhere else. One of the most intriguing aspects is Hong Kong's relationship with numbers. Did you know that the number 4 is considered extremely unlucky? In Cantonese, the word for 4 sounds very similar to the word for death. Because of this, many buildings skip the 4th floor entirely, and you'll often see properties with the number 4 price significantly lower. On the flip side, the number 8 is seen as a symbol of good fortune because it sounds like the word for prosperity or wealth. So, if you ever want to sell property in Hong Kong, make sure it has an 8 in the address. But numbers aren't the only thing Hong Kongers are particular about. Feng Shui, the ancient practice of arranging physical spaces to create harmony and balance, plays a huge role in the city's development. You'll notice that many skyscrapers have holes or unusual shapes that's not just for aesthetics. These designs are meant to allow the dragon's breath, or positive energy, to flow through. The iconic HSBC building, for example, was designed with strict Feng Shui principles in mind. And it's said that its strategic placement has brought financial success not only to the bank but also to the entire area. Another interesting tradition is Hong Kong's use of bamboo scaffolding in construction. While it might look old-fashioned compared to steel structures, bamboo is surprisingly strong and flexible. Many skyscrapers in Hong Kong are still built using bamboo scaffolding, a testament to the blend of modernity and tradition that characterizes the city. And here's a fun one: Hong Kongers have a unique way of cursing someone. They'll often perform a ritual called villain hitting or da shu yan. This involves using a shoe to hit a paper effigy of the person they want to curse, usually while muttering words of anger or frustration. It's believed to drive away bad luck and misfortune caused by that person. You can see this practice performed under certain bridges in Hong Kong, where people gather to hit villains and release their negative energy. From superstitions about numbers to the intricate art of Feng Shui and the peculiar ways of getting rid of bad luck, these cultural quirks make Hong Kong an endlessly fascinating place to explore. So there you have it, some of the most shocking, bizarre, and downright fascinating facts about Hong Kong. From a law that once allowed women to take deadly action against cheating husbands, to the city's peculiar relationship with numbers and its long-standing traditions, it's clear that Hong Kong is a place where history, superstition, and modernity collide in the most unexpected ways. It's amazing to think the city so famous for its high-tech innovations and fast-paced lifestyle is also home to such quirky legal remnants and cultural oddities. It just goes to show that even in one of the world's most advanced cities, the past still finds its way into the present in the most surprising forms. Which fact shocked you the most? Do you know of any other strange laws or traditions that we didn't cover? Drop them in the comments below, we'd love to hear what you think. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more mind-blowing content about the hidden sides of different cities around the world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.